Today, we'll be looking back at the most extravagant Roman emperor of his time, Domitian. Domitian was born on the 24th of October in the year 51 AD and ruled as emperor for 15 years, from 81 to 96. He lived life to the fullest and definitely believed in the saying, "Go hard or go home." The way he ruled made him stand out in both good ways and bad. Thanks to the Roman historian Suetonius, today we know all about Domitian's lavish ways, social innovations, and harsh punishments. Domitian was cunning and had a way with words. Not only was he deceptive in the way he plotted against his brother Titus, but he was also able to convince several married women to have affairs with him. He even persuaded one, Domitia Longina, to divorce her husband for his sake. Domitian was also incredibly in love with himself. According to Suetonius, he was so conceited that although he restored many important buildings, he allowed no names to be inscribed on them except his own, not even the original builders. He wanted to make sure that he would be the one who was remembered for generations to come. Arrogantly enough, upon his own doing so, Lord God became his regular title both in writing and in conversation. It was also required that his images in the Capitol be of either gold or silver and not below a certain weight. Domitian also renamed the month of October after himself, of course. Domitian loved to put on a great show and, according to Suetonius, presented many extravagant entertainments, including a sea fight as well as wild beast hunts and gladiatorial shows. Even a lake was dug at his orders close to the Tiber River, which was used for full-scale naval battles that he watched, even in the heavy rain. Domitian didn't like anything to get in the way of his entertainment. Domitian also made a change in circus racing, in which he reduced the number of laps needed to run from 7 to 5 so that 100 races a day could be run. The guy never wanted the fun to end. He also founded a festival of music, horsemanship, and athletics to be held every 5 years. But Domitian wasn't all about fun and games. The guy also knew how to get down to business. He issued ridiculously harsh punishments, including expelling one member of the Senate for loving acting and dancing too much and cutting off the hands of another man. Not only did he do these cruel things, but he also killed citizens for the most trivial reasons. Just to name a few, one man lost his life for making some ill-advised but harmless witticisms, another because he mistakenly announced the Election Day Herald as Emperor-elect instead of Consul-elect, and another because he was said to have an imperial horoscope. According to Domitian, an emperor who does not punish informers encourages them, which really says a lot about the way Domitian believed a ruler should behave. In the words of Suetonius, Domitian was consistently discourteous and presumptuous in both his speech and his actions. When his father's former mistress returned from Histria and offered him her cheek to kiss, he held out his hand instead. He was also extremely lustful and called his sexual activities bed wrestling as though they were a sport. Some say he would even go swimming with the commonest of common prostitutes. Because of how poorly Domitian treated those around him, it came as no surprise that he was murdered. The assassination occurred on September 18, 96 AD, when he was stabbed multiple times in a palace conspiracy organized by court officials. After his death, the senators were delighted and thronged to denounce Domitian in the Senate House with bitter and insulting cries. The images and shields engraved with Domitian's name were brought smashing down, and it was decreed that all inscriptions referring to him must be removed and all records of his reign obliterated.